Next we have Gail Davidson, a local Vancouver lawyer. She's going to fill us in on some of the details of Bill-C51.
Hi everybody, thank you to Audrey for welcoming us here and inspiring us. Thank you to the Celebration Band for bringing us all together in such a happy mood. Thank you to all the people here who've already taken action to signal their opposition to Bill-C51. And thanks to all the rest of you who are going to do that when you leave here. And thanks to everybody who's going to sign one of those letters. Bill-C51 presents a very grave danger to our rights and freedoms that are protected by the Canadian Charter. It presents a grave danger to our rights to liberty, expression, association, privacy, and our right to engage in dissent and opposition to things that the government is planning on doing, or opposition to things they're not doing, without risking our liberty in doing so. And it not only, the bill not only potentially contravenes and violates the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, but it also contravenes Canada's international law duties to protect rights under the treaties that they've signed and charters that they're obliged to abide by with the United Nations, as a member of the United Nations and as a member of the Organization for American States. The Bill-C51, as you know, authorizes judges to issue warrants authorizing CSIS members to violate charter-protected rights both inside and outside Canada. And I think that the federal government is depending on the fact that no Canadian courts so far have definitively determined that Canada's human rights laws, the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, applies to the behavior of Canadian agents acting outside Canada. Now, that's the law internationally, particularly in the European Court of Human Rights. The lawyers group in England has taken a series of cases having to do with victims of injury and death by British soldiers in Iraq, and the European Court of Human Rights has determined that the British Human Rights Code applies to any territory outside Britain where British agents have control, whether it's as small as a telephone book or as large as a country. And anybody in that territory, whether they're British people or not, no matter what nationality they are protected in the case of violations, and they can sue in Britain for violations. So that's the way the law should be applied, and that's the way the law will be applied. So one of the many reasons why we oppose Bill-C51 is we don't want Canadian officials, agents of the Canadian state, going abroad and violating internationally protected rights that are protected internationally as well as in Canada. So the current plan of the Conservatives for the bill is it's with the Senate right now. It's past third reading. The NDP voted against it, as did the Green Party, the Bloc Québécois, and the other opposition party. The Liberal Party voted for it. Yes, except for I think three or five Liberal Party members who weren't present in the House, but other than that, apparently in the Senate, some Liberal senators have said they're voting against it, but there's a majority of Conservative senators, so it's likely to pass in the Senate, but keep sending your letters to the Senate. And once it's passed, that's a time to keep up your opposition to the bill, and the things that you can do then is keep letting your opposition to the various parts of the bill, just pick one aspect of it that you oppose and keep telling members of Parliament, keep blogging, keep carrying on in social media, join opposition, just go on Stop Bill-C51 and you'll see there's many groups across Canada who've organized petitions. The other thing that you should do is band together to provide support for any people whose rights are threatened to be violated by the provisions of the Bill-C51 once it's passed into law. So once again, thanks everybody. As you all know, the rights of any one of us are only as well protected as the rights of the very least protected, the very poorly protected. And if everybody's rights aren't protected, they're not rights, they're privileges. So thank you very much for making sure that all of us still have rights.
Privacy commissioners from across Canada have all denounced Bill C-51 as an absolutely inexcusable intrusion on our privacy.